Okay guys, in this video we're going to be rebuilding Ian's computer. It was first built about a year ago, but we're redoing it for cable management. And is there anything else?
Basically just to show you guys how we put it together.
Okay guys, but don't use this as a tutorial if you're trying to know or trying to get to know how to build your first computer, because we've already installed things like RAM and the heatsink and processor. So I wouldn't use this as a tutorial, just kind of a walkthrough.
Yep. Let's get started, I guess.
First we're going to do the power supply. It's a Corsair CX750M.
Yep.
Alright guys, we're first going to start off with the power supply and then move on to the motherboard. You can install the power supply whatever way you want, with the fan down or it on this side, but we prefer to do it with the fan down.
Yes. The reason we prefer the fan down is because then the airflow for the fan is all contained within the power supply, so it doesn't affect your airflow in your case, and it's also better for cable management, because on most power supplies the cord should be on this side of the power supply, which is closest to the motherboard tray, so you can get better cable management.
Yep. And just as a helpful hint, we like to put all our screws in sort of a bin or a little tub like this, just to make it easier, so we make sure we don't lose anything.
Another helpful tip is if you have one of these screwdrivers that you can remove the ends like that. If you remove the smaller end, it actually fits these screws, so that way you don't have to use the screwdriver end, which makes it much easier.
And on computers, you probably don't want to over-tighten things, just do it till it's pretty solid.
Don't under-tighten or over-tighten. Tighten to the point that you feel like you need to start putting a lot of pressure on. Like, okay, now taking a closer look at the motherboard that I'm going to be installing on this computer, we are using this Gigabyte motherboard that is FM2 and FM2 Plus socket supported. Currently I have 16 gigabytes of Crucial Ballistic Sport RAM installed.
4 DIMMs. I have 8 right now, but that will
be an upgrade.
Yeah.
I have the A107050K overclocked to 4.3 gigahertz, and then of course the Hyper 212 Evo for it.
Yeah. Which actually, do you think we should install the fan now on it?
Yeah, I guess we'd go and install the fan. Okay, so now we're going to be installing the motherboard into the case. First thing I'd recommend doing, taking your CPU power cable, running that up to the top of your case, to that little hole there. Because in this case, it's you have to run it first because there's not enough room to put it.
Yeah, that goes along with my case too. As you can see, we actually have the motherboard on a stack of paper. Usually we put it on top of the motherboard box, but we didn't have that on us.
So, it's perfectly safe to hold the motherboard with the heatsink as long as you put it on there secure enough. You go and work your way down into there, making sure that you have all your motherboard standoffs in the correct proper place. But in the case of our computer,
for this part, I would put the end of the screwdriver on.
Right. We did not need the motherboard standoffs because it came with them built in.